Julia Lynam, welcoming you to Dancewise, a project in which we explore ways in which the movement arts, and in particular circle dance, help with trauma relief. Today, I'll be talking with Laura Monges from Mexico City. Laura is a dance therapist and also a person who teaches and trains other dance therapists. And she'll be talking today about her work and in particular about how she integrates sacred circle dance and other movement arts into her therapy work. So welcome, Laura. It's wonderful to have you here today.
Hi, Julia. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So, Laura, I'd really like to start by asking you about the past. I know that before you became a dance therapist, you had another whole career, and I'm just wondering if you could explain how you came to dance therapy and perhaps a little bit about how your practice has evolved over the years.
Sure, Julia. Well, I would like to start telling that since I was a child, I liked to dance. The dance was a refuge when things were not going well at home. I danced to get into my world and feel safe. Growing up, I wanted to be a dancer, but in Latin America, they believe that you have to study something that supports you financially. Changed my mind, so I studied communications. But later in my life, in my adult life, after a painful divorce, I start to find something that makes me feel better. And I found my teacher, Mercedes Galvez. Mercedes showed me that dance can bring me again to this refuge and to myself and pleasant place that is my corporal being through the dance. So with her, I trained as a dance therapist, and there I found myself again with my emotions, my femininity, and my safe space. That was more than 50 years ago, working with groups through the body, movement, and dance. I work with her giving therapy classes and therapeutic tools in a dance therapy diploma. And later I studied Gestalt and humanistic therapy to complement the movement, no? all the cognitive and rational thinking and expression. Along this path, I have worked with low-income adolescents or teenagers, women who had suffered violence or abuse, sexual abuse, as well as the elderly, people with more age. And I have witnessed how by connecting with our body, allowing it to express itself, we can be aware what we have experienced and heal, like a healing tool. That would be.
And I did want to make the point that you had a different career because I know that you worked in the corporate world, which was something very, very different before you came to dance therapy.
Yes, and it was really interesting because when I used to work, my first career was communication science, and I used to work with big corporate companies as a public relationship or a communication officer. But it was so funny because in that corporate world, everybody gets the mind like the super thing, everything is rational. You are not allowed to be in touch with your emotions, because you have to be cold and take decisions and many things. So when I got to this divorce, I really was disconnected of my feelings because for me everything was rational. I need to think and be competitive and successful, all that work. So I found myself really, really separate from my corporate being, my emotions. So when I found dance therapy, for me was like, wow, it brings me again my emotions. I have the opportunity to feel again and feel my sadness, my anger, all the ways, and also my femininity, because in a corporate world, you are more masculine way to be, and be in touch with my sensitive was, wow, really interesting. But it was, and then I changed my career. I didn't want to work in a corporate world. For me, it was a really nice way to rebirth.
I think that's a really wonderful story, and the experience that you had in moving from the one way to another like that, I'm sure bridging the different ways of thinking and the different ways of feeling must make you very sensitive to other people who are experiencing the same sort of thing, or perhaps trying to experience the same sort of thing.
Yes, it gave me a lot of, it's like open eyes. It was an open eye in my life. And that's why I decided to go with the therapeutical way, or path, because I wanted to help women as me that has been in a difficult or painful divorce or separation, that has to fight for their own space in a corporate world when men are the one who leads the way, and it's very difficult for a woman to fight against your nature or your instincts. There's a lot of abuse or harassment or violence also in a corporative way of life. So for me, I think that was the key. Also because I couldn't express myself. I came from a very lovely family, but also a family that everything is going well. You can cry.
Always going well.
Everything. You're like, please, you have a house. You don't not allowed to cry or to be angry because you have many things, And also in the corporate world, it's the same. Women doesn't need that. I mean, they cannot allow or showing their tears or their emotions. So for me, after all these things, I really like to work with expression. My line of work is express through the body, to the words, to art, whatever thing or whatever it takes to express. Because having this energy inside our body is not good. Not at all.
Laura, I'm wondering about your encounter with circle dancing, and if you could just explain a little bit about what circle dance is for people who haven't yet encountered it themselves, and then perhaps tell us how you first encountered it yourself, and perhaps what it means in your practice and in your work. What does circle dance mean in your work?
Well, okay, circular dance are the dancers that we dance in community, where we can share our energy with each other, that a place when we feel protected by the circle and honor the steps and story and music of ancient peoples and our own daily lives. Circular dance was brought to Findhorn, Scotland, from Bernard Bossien. He was the choreographer who showed the circular dances in Findhorn. And after that, many people starting to take those dances to their places. In Mexico, Win Peter Deep was the teacher who brought us circular dances more than 30 years ago. She thought a group of women who are the women seed, the creators or the replicants of circular dances in Mexico. And they taught us a lot of dances and we replicate that. In my case, I made circular dances through Mercedes Galvez. She knew Cristina Mendoza, a teacher who started with WIN. And they they teach all of us, a group of women, a lot of circular dances. And then Lea Bella, it's another of my teachers, she gave me the opportunity to make dances in the Bosque de Chapultepec, which is a huge woods here in Mexico City. So yes, we dance in the woods. Even though it's a city, we have a large park, a beautiful park. And she used to give dances there, but then she needed to move, and she gave me her space. So since 1 decade now, I am teaching and sharing circular dances in Bosque de Chapultepec.
That sounds absolutely beautiful. I wish I could come and dance with you. I'm wondering, the dances in the Bosque are straightforward dance sessions, I think, that's what you're saying. But I'm wondering if you use circle dancing in your therapy with some of your clients, and if you do, how you do that, and what kind of feedback you get from them, how it helps people to use circle dancing in dance therapy.
When I found circular dances, I found that the group, the force or the strength of the group allow us to not feel alone, no? That doesn't feel like I am the only person who experienced that pain or shame or whatever, or that trauma, no? So I use circular dances in my groups for many reasons. First, for integration. I mean, when you dance in a circle, you feel protected, you can have the opportunity to see each other in the eyes, you have a contact, a physical contact with someone else. And also it has this feeling of achievement, no? Because when you learn a dance and everybody puts in the same mood, it's like, wow, we all of us created this achievement. We create this dance together. And also something happens when we are dancing, no? We can be in touch with our feelings. We can probably be touched by a dance. And when you saw that other people feel the same, it's like, wow, no, it's like I belong here. I am not this strange person. No, I belong. I can share my pain or the thing that happens to me. Even the experience are different. So when I dance, I used to use the circle dances for this. For instance, if I am working with a theme, I use circular dances to reinforce that type of themes. For instance, if I am working with abuse or with violence and we are moving the body, when I want to be more like a peace of mind, or when I want to really get inside, I use circular dances. Are very powerful to come again, no? To be with myself, but also to be with some other people that are feeling something similar. I'm not so sure if I'm explaining it clearly.
I think that's a beautiful explanation. I'm wondering if what it is about circle dancing in particular that helps to achieve this. That
Because,
might be a
well,
difficult question.
no, it's because I think it's like in different levels, no? Suppose that, well, not suppose, every one of us, every each of us suffers some traumas, no? It doesn't has to do with if it's really a huge or a small trauma. It's trauma. And we have to remember that trauma lives in our bodies. Even though we have a conscious mind, or we have the knowledge of what has been happened to us, what happened to us, is in the body where trauma lives. So if we are talking about, no, I don't know, sadness, for instance, no, or we are dancing, music is also, well, the trauma releases when we hear something that trigger us our feelings, no, about it could be like with music or with some images that trigger us our feelings about that specific trauma. So when we are moving our body, we hear and we are moving something, these protective cells. I'm not so sure it's armor, the word, but I mean, our
Armor.
body.
Removing armor is like
Exactly.
something that blocks you.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
right.
yes, because we create, when we live a trauma, our body obviously tense, no? Unconsciously. We tense our body because we want to protect for the threat that is outside. So we build this armor, so protect ourselves from the external,
Mm-hmm.
no? So when we dance, the thing that we are creating is how the way to crack that armor, to be more flexible. So
Yes.
dancing, no, exactly. It's like when I am dancing, I am moving this armor and break this tense and way to be protective, this defensive body, to allow the feelings get out, no, and poof, release all the things that taking us to be so hard or be so defensive. And circular dances, for me, helping to also create in a community way, sharing this energy. and be sustained by the group. I can choose some dances that I think, okay, this dance can help the people to feeling safe. So we can dance, all of us. Or that there are dances that we use our hands to make some signals, or no, or the eyes. The eyes are a very self-protected way to be supported by the group. So that's the way that I mix the circular dances with dance therapy.
Yes. And with the circle dance repertoire, as you're saying, there are, well, literally thousands of dances to choose from that are relevant for different aspects of your work or for different themes. I know that you also, as well as circular dance, use some other different movement arts in your work, and I'm wondering if you could just mention a few of those as well.
Yes. I used to work with all the body, so any type of movement is really healing. So in addition to the circular dances, I used to work with authentic movement, which is a movement that you don't need music. It's your own movement in place. Dance therapy, that is more a freedom way to move. I mean, you put music and you suggest some ideas or reflections, but the main point is that you allow your body to move and express in the way that is meant to be. I mean, there is not a nice movement or a good movement or a bad movement. It's your own and authentic movement. So you suggest this type of dance therapy is like a free movement, authentic movement. And also I use arts like painting, or probably I put people to painting with their body. I mean, it's like use everything, to every tool that we have on hand to express, because my interest really is express yourself. Don't get alone with your feelings. Don't be alone with all the sensations, because when we express in the body, the trauma releases, and also in a cognitive way. It's really nice to share all the feelings that we are experiencing, because it's the way that we found that we are not alone. No, but people, because probably I am sharing with you, Yolanda, I've been in a really painful divorce, and probably you don't, but you can understand or be empathetic with the pain, or with the sadness,
Yes.
or with the anger, no?
Yes, it's a common humanity that we can share, and your work is addressing ways of connecting.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and another way in which you continue these connections and in which you pass it on is that you do also teach dance therapists. And I'm wondering if you could just talk about that a little bit too.
Yes, I when Mercedes Galvez, my teacher, passed away, she left their teaching with two persons, and one of those is me, no, and we use dance therapy. We teach many levels of movement. First, we put people in contact with their corporate being, because we are in this modern world. We are taught to fragment it or separate our body from our mind. No, it's like, I don't know in your country, but here is like, I have a body like a package, no, something that is not me, it's something outside me. And we teach, no, you are body. You don't have a head, or you don't have arms. You are arms. You are head. No, it's like, if I have a headache. No, something is happening with you that is expressed in your head. So our first part is always bring us together with our body. No, our bodies are perfect. We have all the information thanks to our senses. So we work first in connecting very, very specifically with our body, and then with the movement. And the movement in this way that help us to break this harm, to be more flexible, to hearing our body, because sometimes, I don't know if it happens with to you or with someone you know that I'm hungry, no, for say something, but we don't listen our bodies. Like, no, 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 no. I need to do something better or first because it. And I said, no. All the wisdom that we have is in our bodies, and we don't have time, and we don't know how to listen. So the thing is that in dance therapy, you teach how to be with comfortable with your body, to listen to your body, and to healing. Let the expression go through the dances and the movement in a general way.
Well, thank you. That sounds really lovely. I'm wondering if there's anything else that I've not asked you about that you'd like to share with our viewers.
Just to, I think that the most important thing, Julia, is to remind me or remember for me that we are corporal beings, that we have to honor and love our bodies because we tell, I work with a lot of women that have this kind of damaged thinking about their bodies, no? They are always like, my body's ugly, or I am too fat, or I'm too old. We are always telling our bodies that they are wrong. And it's like, for me, it's like, no, our bodies are wonderful, perfect the way they are. And movement allow us to be in contact with people, to be human, to express our feelings. And specifically in circular dances, for me, one of the greatest values is that I am in contact with people. I am being supported by the touch of the hand, by the look on the eye, like sharing the same step, allowing me to make mistakes because I don't know the first step right. No, I mean, it's like a way to feel again that we are human, that we share many things, the good and the bad, and we can heal each other only for movement, for dancing, for touching, for seeing, and for getting ourselves be expressed through the dance. So for me, there's really, really very good for trauma or for anything.
Well, thank you, Lara. It's been really inspirational talking with you today. Thank you so much for participating in Dancewise. And what can I say but dance on?
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for this amazing project, Julian. Thank you for your interview and your kindly and warm presence with me.
Thank you, Lara, and goodbye for now. I hope to see you again soon.
Me too. Bye bye.
And Lara, I know that to go with this interview, you're also going to be recording a demonstration video showing your dance therapy and your circle dance practices in action.
Yes, I am inviting my students to work with me in this session. So I will be glad to share with you the way that I saw this. I see this type of practice.
Well, I look forward to seeing that video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Y exhala. Siente bien las plantas de tus pies, tu espalda, tu tronco. Inhala otra vez profundo. Inhala de nuevo, profundo. Observa todo. Cómo está la luz, las texturas. Y respira. seguir construyendo un tercer lenguaje juntas. Ahí va, empieza la conversación, es un diálogo. Quiero que veas cómo es mi mundo. ¿Cómo es ser yo contigo? No con nadie más, contigo. Solo observa qué va pasando. Al mostrarme. tú ni ella se siguen, crean algo nuevo. Así. Ya sé cómo es estar en ti, tú ya sabes cómo estar en mí, ya sabemos cómo estar con los demás. ¿Qué co-creamos juntas? Una danza, una escultura, una travesía. ¿Qué queremos crear? Solamente va a ser nuestro. ¿Qué nos puede hacer humanos? Y respira. Con un movimiento, escojan como esta sensación de intimidad, de lo que está pasando ahorita con ustedes en una palabra, digan la palabra y un movimiento. Algo sencillo de movimiento. Amor. Lo repetimos. Amor. Cuidado. Cuidado. Entonces, amor. Cuidado. Agradecimiento. Amor. Cuidado. Agradecimiento. Apapacho. Entonces, amor. Cuidado. Agradecimiento. Apapacho. Alegría. Amor. Cuidado. Agradecimiento. Apapacho. Alegría. Expansión. Amor. Cuidado. Agradecimiento. Apapacho. Alegría. Expansión. Otra vez. Amor. Cuidado. Agradecimiento. Apapacho. Alegría. Expansión. Voy a poner una sí. Amor, cuidado, agradecimiento, apapacho, alegría, expansión. Con tu propio ritmo, con tus pasos a tu tiempo. Vamos a hacer cercanía. Me recuerdo. Vamos a tomarnos en las manos y vamos a caminar hacia la derecha. Paso, punta, paso, punta, paso, punta. Me quedo aquí y voy a tomar toda la energía y la voy a llevar a mi corazón, porque primero me tengo que conocer a mí para mirarme y para entenderme. Y después voy a sacar la mano izquierda, la voy a abrir. Voy a caminar hacia el centro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bajo mi mano derecha para abrazarme y voy a balancear derecha, izquierda, voy para atrás. 1, 2, 3, 4. Una puede ser un balanceo aquí, creo que sí. 3. Y voy a empezar. Creo que son pasos, paso, punto, paso, ahorita me acuerdo. Tomo. Miro. Me acerco. Voy al centro. 1,